right, for a little Winter Dome 16-inch softball, little bonus today. This was the game last week that they had to call off last Thursday because of high winds. So they got to sneak these in because they are, I believe, starting their playoffs next week out here. And so they had to get these games in. So we got Iron versus Goodwood. What you're about to see is Chicago 16-inch style softball with a twist because we're indoors. So we'll run through some rules here. All turf field, 210 down the lines, 235 to dead red. Short fence out there. We see a lot of ground rule doubles because of the short dimensions. You can only hit 4 home runs. Everything after that's an out. Here's Spencer Stanek to lead off. 1-1 count, 60-foot bases, 38 from the rubber to home. We're playing no gloves, so you get a drag step, 1 step left, right, or back. And Spencer takes another ball. Pitcher gets 2 fakes or hesitations. Third arm action has to deliver the ball home. Throw or a fake to a base is one of your fakes or hesitations, and there's a dreaded leadoff walk. You are seeing it correctly, no gloves. This is 16-inch clincher. It is not a mush ball. That brings up Billy Quirk, and Billy flares it down the left field line. We do swing heavy bats. They can weigh up to 38 ounces. 34 inches long, 2 1/4 on the barrel. And 99% of what we do out here is without the mitts. So 1 on here, nobody out, top of the first, just underway. And Billy swings and he punches it. Oh, center fielder got turned around, but he recovered and made the catch. So Brett Winger playing center field. It looked like for a second there, Billy kind of inside-outed that. And he got that spin action. That ball was kind of tailing away, and Brett got turned around. But he's a tall kid, and he recovered and made the catch. And we were just talking before the game that you don't normally see guys. And here's P.J. Raines, and he delivers a hit. Stanek easily into third. Runners on the corner here. So Brett's kind of a big, strong guy, and we're not necessarily used to seeing center fielders that big. I'm sure if it was up to Goodwood, they'd like to get a jackrabbit because it's a lot of abuse on a bigger player. And that's going to bring up Chapo Belinas. So runners on the corner here, 1 out. Top of the first. And there's a little flip down the line, and it's right on the chalk. 1 run is in. Raines will get to third. So Chapo walks that dog down the right field line, drives in a run in the process, and we got our first lead of the ball game. So the leadoff walk does come around to score. Still only 1 out here. Brings up Matt Toomey. Of course, Iron missing a few of their normal players. There's a little chopper to short. Over to first, throw back to third, gets past Angel. Good job there of the shortstop coming around and backing that up. Second run does score. As the throw from the first baseman, Jeremy Fowler, bounced in there, but the shortstop right where he should be after he made the play, Julian Russell, rotated back around and was on the spot. Brings up Trey Johnson. Yeah, it started a couple of minutes late, Jack. They had a lot of youth soccer, all kinds of ages on the field, and Trey pumps it into the alley, That's going to score another run, and Trey will get himself a stand-up double. So 3-0 Iron early here. It's going to bring up Joe Welgos. Yeah, the parking lot was a disaster because they had all kinds of baseball and soccer, and all the parents were coming by to pick their kids up. And Joe, a little ground ball to second. Mikey Subzinski makes the play. So we're going to head to the bottom of the first, 3-0 Iron. A little nicer out today. We were out at the Turkey Bowl, and we showed you the prayer in one of the games out there, but I was frozen solid and just could not make it through to show you guys the championship game. I know Manny Sanchez jumped in, I believe, and did some, but usually a lot of the players will stick around there, but they were dropping like flies in that cold weather. I got into the car, and it said 29 on the temperature gauge, but when I asked Google what it was and asked them for the wind chill, they said 22. So it was a little rough, to say the least. So we're going to be out here again tomorrow and Wednesday, barring anything unforeseen. So a lot of softball. Steve Rodriguez is putting the finishing touches on the Los Barachos softball league out at Intentional. And that's going to start December 26th. So we'll be out there for that as well. So leading off here, and it looks like they're trying to fire the scoreboard up, Jeremy Fowler, which would make my life easier. I do keep the score on the scoreboard you can see, but I like to have the innings taken care of. So here's Jeremy, former collegiate wrestler.
Right hand.
And he goes hard toward left, but the left fielder, P.J. Raines, cruises over and makes the catch. And here comes Julian Russell. Of course, Julian, a member of the Dirty 38s during the summer season. And Julian is a very elite player. Good shortstop and a very good offensive player. And of course I put the Malouk on him as he flies out to Toomey and right for out number 2. So Goodwood, 2 up, 2 down here, brings up Cody Sopko. And Goodwood, when we were out at GoPro, looked pretty good until the championship game, and then their offense just evaporated. Ended up losing that championship game to Los Barachos 3-2. And they'll go 1-2-3 here. So we're going to head to the second, 3-0 Iron. So we hope wherever you're at, you're warm and comfortable tonight. And we hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Be safe out there.
Oh, the runner right there, though. The runner right there.
So it's going to be Marco Macias, Brian Alba, and Jimmy Pareda, scheduled hitters here for Iron. Of course, Iron missing a few of their younger kids that are finishing up their last year in college. And I know the last 3 or 4 years, Danny's really looking forward. And Marco walks the dog, little inside-out swing, and he pumped it right over the top of the infield for a leadoff single. I know Iron's been making steady progress with their younger kids, but late in the year, when it comes time for A and Major in August, he's always had the last few years kids leaving. There's a ground ball, little bobble. They will get the fielder's choice. So Julian a little flat-footed there. Didn't handle it clean, but he recovered to get the fielder's choice. Little side-on flip over to the short center. And here's Jimmy Pareda. Jimmy, another young kid that Danny's trying to bring along here. And he skies one, does not hit the roof. Caught out there by the right fielder, 2 dead. Brings up the pitcher, CJ. One other rule I forgot to go over is the roof here. The ball hits the roof in fair territory, it's a live ball. So if you catch it before it hits the ground, it's an out. If it lands and hits the turf, it's all you can get as an offensive player. And there's an overhand cut, but that's out of play. And that's actually a break. I think had that ball been fair, Joel Cordova, the left fielder, might have had a shot at catching it. So right now, if you're Goodwood, trying to get out of this inning with no damage, keep the score here. There's a ground ball to Subzinski, and that'll do it. So we head to the bottom of the second, still 3-0. I'm going to grab a little water, folks. Danny Atkins was giving Mr. Toomey the business because he was, I think, wearing batting gloves. And of course, we got a lot of guys that do wear batting gloves during the course of a season. I never saw the point in it. You're taking 1, maybe 2 swings during in that bat. And sometimes you'll see guys talk about the double BG. The guy's wearing 2 batting gloves and they'll give him a little business. I can see it if you're a sweater and your palms are wet all the time, but I don't know if I'll be playing Father Time, Amalia, but I am due to go talk to my guy, Santa. There's a hot shot to short, picked up, recovered, outmade. So that ball was smoked on the ground by Brett Winger right at the shortstop on one hop. Kind of jumped up on him, hit the carpet, bounced straight up. And that's going to bring up Steve Burke. And Steve flips a base hit into right center. So 1 out base runner, my guy CC checking in. So I got to talk to Santa Claus, make sure all of my SSA followers are on the nice list. I know there's a few haters out there probably going to be on the naughty list. So here's Joey Diaz. And he skies an infield pop-up And right on the spot there, Billy Quirk makes the catch. So 2 outs for Mikey Subzinski. Winger, a courtesy runner here, long strider. Mikey should hit a long single in a gap. He's got an opportunity to maybe score with 2 outs. And if you're Goodwood, you kind of just want to break the seal. Like I said, offense has been a little erratic, and they got some good hitters on the team. And there's a high fly ball. That should be the 3rd out, and it is. Stanek in center makes the play. So we're going to head now to the top of the 3rd. Still 3-0. And it will be the top of the lineup coming up for Iron. Spencer Stanek, Billy Quirk, and PJ Raines. So like I said, I believe the playoffs are going to be starting next week out here. And they should start and finish next week. I'll need to check that to confirm, but I'm pretty sure I saw that right on the schedule. Might be in 2 weeks, we'll see. So again, if you're Goodwood, and they're normally a very solid defensive group, you just want to hold it here. Thanks, Brian. And there's a base hit, so Stanek leads off with a hit. It's a good look at the young man. So here's Quirk. And he goes the other way over to Russell, and he spiked the throw. That was kind of an odd throwing motion. You almost would expect the shortstop there to shovel that or do a little bit more of a little sidearm flip. He actually raised the ball above his shoulder, and he was so close, he kind of short-armed it and pulled the throw. And again, you don't normally see Julian make that type of a miscue, but it puts the first 2 hitters on now for Raines. And again, with a 4-home run limit, you try to use them judiciously. And there's a hot shot, short center to Russell, high throw. Stanek will score. So very uncharacteristic. They had all kinds of time. And Julian just airmailed a rocket high. Looked like Jeremy got out a little bit on his front foot and couldn't recover on the high throw there. Brings up Chapo. As a first baseman, you don't want to commit yourself and get out early on your front foot, because there's a ground ball to Russell. This time good throw, but Chapo beats it out for a fielder's choice. So what I was saying, as a first baseman, you want to kind of stay straight up, straddle in the bag, so you can shift either way. But more importantly, if you get out on the front foot and the guy fires it up high like that, makes it a much tougher catch. And there's a little chopper, short center, right at the bag, puts it away. But in the inning, Iron does push another run across, and we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. So that was pretty much a gift run there by Goodwood. And the Maluk is in high gear. Seems like every guy I've complimented tonight has immediately turned around and struggled a little bit. Well, this is the Dome up in Rosemont, Illinois. The Bandits and the Chicago Dogs also have outdoor stadiums right here. And it's a nice little sports complex here in Rosemont. right off 294 at the Balmoral exit. If you're coming north on 294, pretty easy place to get to. So Mike Lemus, Joel Cordova, and Angel Lozado will be leading off here. And there's a sky-high ball, just grazed the roof. Billy Quirk, nice effort, couldn't get there. Very pleasant temperature in here. Although today was pretty nice. We got up to, I think we cracked 50 degrees today. And Mike swings, high, towering fly ball. Stanek camped, puts it away for out number one, brings up Cordova. Have not seen a home run yet by either team. Again, you only get 4. And there's a little chopper to short. Chapo high throw, well goes. Went up and came down in time for out number 2. Good hustle there by Brian Alba. Again, there's no real room here because there's a net there. I don't know if you can see the netting on the camera, but here's Angel. Angel, one of my favorite players. This kid rakes. For a while there, if I'm not mistaken, he was leading off for Goodwood. And there's a little ground ball. Nice play by Macias. And we've talked on the stream in the past that Marco Macias, one of the slicker short centers defensively in the game. So Gio puts the Maluk on another hitter as we head to the top of the 4th here. I'm not 100% sure, Nicholas, who Sincere Right is. So it's going to be Trey Johnson, Joe Walgos, and Marco Macias here, top of the 4th. And Trey just slaps it into center field for a base hit, his second hit of the ball game. Double in the 1st, single here in the 4th. They bring out the courtesy runner. And here comes Joe Walgos. And Joe swings, puts a charge into it, and it's going to be a ground rule double. Just short of the fence over there, fan walking by, looked like Jake McTeague, threw it back in. So 2nd and 3rd, temporarily that saves a run. And Macias, a little ground ball to Subzinski, he sits on it, another run scores. So Marco with one out there, with nobody out, moved one in and moved one over. So here's Brian Alba. And the way Goodwood is swinging these runs. And Julian thought about going home, but he didn't. He takes the out, but it drives in another run, 6-0 iron. And that's going to bring up Jimmy Pareda. So iron, after getting second and third, nobody out, couple of ground balls, they extend out here. And he swings and he hits it hard, and that's going to be up in the net. So Jimmy Pareda, a line drive. So PJ Raines was trying to reach over the fence there, and he knocked it down by mistake. He did not crash into it. Then he couldn't find the ball because the fence fell on the wall. So we got a parade of Goodwood guys over there going to try to do a little field maintenance. And I said it when they opened this dome up. They've got kind of like some Velcro to kind of try to keep the pieces together. But they got a weird latch system that you would think it would be designed to automatically give way on contact. But the latch system doesn't really work all the time. And then the pegs and the stuff that keep it together end up either getting bent or broken. So they got the fence up. I don't know how sturdy it's going to be. Look like Winger, Jeremy Fowler, Julian Russell, PJ Raines were all working on it. Or not PJ Raines, excuse me, Cordova. So here's CJ. And that's a high fly ball. Cordova is there and makes the catch. So we're going to head now to the bottom of the fourth inning. 7-0 iron. So halfway through, iron in control of the ball game. And I believe Iron's got a doubleheader tonight. They might be playing the dummies next. So 7-0, bottom of the fourth. And getting his first at-bat of the game is Hector Melendez. And Hector, line drive off the third baseman down the line. He's going to try to go to second. Raines got a gun. He's out. I think PJ Raines was a little surprised Melendez was going to try him. He took his time and threw a strike. And Marco Macias was just waiting for the base runner to slide on in. So again, down 7.
Way to slow it down.
You have to, the risk reward there is not great. You need base runners. And here's Fowler, and he comes through base hit, and Jeremy will easily get into second. So sending him there on the leadoff single now, starting to look a little bit more important. As with that base hit, it would have been second and third, nobody out. You're trailing by 7. You don't like to give those outs up. So here's Julian Russell now. And Julian smokes it down the left field line. That's going to score Fowler. And Julian will cruise into second. So Goodwood breaks the seal. Again, without the base running mistake there, would have been 7-2. And here's Cody. And Cody goes high and deep. It's got a chance, and it's up in the net. 2-run homer. 7-3 ball game. It's Goodwood showing a little signs of life. Hate to sound like a broken record, but really it should be 7-4. And we'll have to put that into our memory banks and see if that base running mistake comes back to haunt them. And here's Brett Winger. Pitches outside. And Brett, hot shot to short, bobble, long throw, not in time. So Chapo a little flat-footed there. Ball jumped up on that second skip hop. Brett hustling down the line, beats it out, brings up Steve Burke.
Liners through, Brett, liners through.
Still only one out here.
Nice, perfect. Nice,
Steve Burke taking all the way, full count. Still only one out here. And he takes a walk.
Wow.
So 7-3. First and second, one out now. Brings up Joey Diaz, the catcher.
Go have fun, Joe.
And that's where that run. There's a hard ground ball to third, and it gets through. Another run's going to score. 7-4 ball game. And it brings up Mikey Subzinski. One out here. And Subzinski, a little flare, long run, a little confusion. Now it gets past. And now they got a rundown. Run's going to score. And they're going to get Subzinski. He dropped the ball. 2-run score. So a little flare, a little confusion between Quirk and Toomey. Then the ball bounced away. Subzinski got held up. The runners, Subzinski and the runner in front, thought that the lead runner was going to score. They held him, and that created a little bit of base running confusion. Iron didn't really look like they knew how they wanted to go about it. Nice job by Subzinski. And Lemus slashes a hit. And we're all tied at 7. As Goodwood scored 7, should have had 8, but they have tied the game. Brand new ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. Brings up Joel Cordova. Still only one out here. And there's a little infield pop-up. Macias calls it and puts it away for out number 2. Brings up Angel Lozado. Lemus can run. He's played a lot of outfield. So with 2 outs now, he'll be running, and Angel slaps it down the line. Lemus going to try to go to third, and he's out. So P.J. Raines threw out 2 base runners, one at second, one at third, and as a result, there wasn't more damage there. Lemus running all the way on the swing. The problem was it was a one-hop line drive hit right at Raines, and PJ just took his time and delivered a strike. Good job by the third baseman to catch and tag. So brand new ball game here as we head to the top of the 5th, all tied at 7. Iron will have the top of their lineup coming up. Spencer Stanek, Billy Quirk, and PJ Raines. That's why we tell you guys, never look away from a game here in the Dome. With the turf and the short dimensions, crazy things can happen. So Goodwood, a little pep in their step now. 7-7. And there's the dreaded leadoff walk. So right after your team ties the game, and with the top coming up, you really don't want to walk anybody, because these top 3 or 4 guys on Iron having pretty good days so far. And Quirk tries to go big. It hits the roof, and it drops in. Stanek will stop at second. If it doesn't hit the roof, probably would have been an out. Mike Subzinski was tracking the ball from the infield, but it hit the roof and didn't come straight down. It came down on an angle. Trouble of brewing now. First and second, PJ Raines, and he launches it to right, and Lemus is going to run out of room. 3-run homer. Iron reclaims the lead at 10-7 here in the top of the 5th. So the dreaded leadoff walk scores, the roof shot, and then Raines cleared the bases with a big fly to right field. Here's Chapo Bolinas. So this game is starting to open up here late. And Chapo, little overhand, semi-hard cut into left field. So still nobody out here as the first 4 hitters have reached. 3 have scored. Brings up Matt Toomey. So Goodwood now looking to put a Band-Aid on this and stop the bleeding. And Toomey, a little fly ball. Winger is there, and he makes the catch. For the first out of the inning. Brings up Trey Johnson. Wouldn't surprise me. Trey Johnson didn't try to go yard here. And try to reestablish the bigger lead. He does try, and that hits the roof. And they're going to throw it in. And that ball would have went, but it hit the roof. It was funny because the guys on the infield knew it was going to hit the roof, and they were screaming roof, trying to get the outfield to stop running toward defense. But runners on the corner, Joe Welgos. And there's a bullet. Fowler got a hand on it. Another run scores. Toomey is chugging for the plate. The throw not in time, and Welgos will sneak into second. So Fowler made a diving attempt trying to catch the line drive. I'm not sure if Subzinski would have got there, but off the deflection, it went into the outfield. So Iron comes right back with 5, and now Macias. And again, Joe Welgos not that far away from second. My thoughts on that, nothing good can come when a guy is 3 feet from the base and you're trying to throw behind him. Here's Brian Alba. It's a good response by Iron. Little roller. Angel Lazaro. Throw to the plate. Welgos is out for out number 3. So a little bit of a crazy finish to that inning. As Angel tried to tag Welgos, he missed him. Then he threw across his body wide to first. Good job by Jeremy Fowler, though, to pick up the errant throw and throw accurately to the plate. So after erasing a 7-run lead in the bottom of the 4th inning and tying the game up in the top of the 5th, the top of the lineup comes through, and they get 5 of those 7 back, and we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Top of the order, guys. Top of the order.
So top of the lineup here for Goodwood. So top versus top here in the 5th. Jeremy Fowler, Julian Russell, and Cody Sopko.
Yeah, cost per heck.
Oh, pinch hitter. And this is Anthony Kaz. Pinch hitting. And Kaz smokes it right over the back. Great play. That was an absolute rocket right over the base. The third baseman, Jimmy Pareda, snagged it, stood up and threw a bullet across the infield. Sensational first out of the bottom of the 5th inning here. Excuse me, he hit for Hector Melendez. Jeremy Fowler grounds out to Chapo. He got the big Sunday hop, made the play, and it brings up Julian Russell now. 2 outs, nobody on.
He threw it right away. Got an answer to something. Hey, let's go, Julian.
So through 3.5, it was all Iron. Goodwood threw 7 out. And Iron responded immediately with 5. Big blow in that inning, the 3-run homer by P.J. Raines. And this is a big inning in the sense, and unfortunately for Goodwood, there's 2 outs already. And Julian, a little hammer, big sink on that ball, 2-out single, and that once you tie the game and Iron reestablished the lead, you wanted to come back and keep the pressure on. Here's Cody.
He's got to be able to score if you send it.
He's hit one already. Let's see if he tries to go big again.
No.
Your ball, Coach.
Looks like CJ didn't want to give him anything inside.
Go.
And he tries it again, does not hit the roof, and it's over. Cody, his 2nd home run. PJ got to the wall, he jumped up, and the ball glanced off of his hands. And I'm sure somewhere the dummies are wondering why that's not a 4-base error instead of a home run, as PJ did get his hands on that. Had a little controversy last week about that.
Come on, Brooke.
When the dummy right fielder's entire body was bent over the fence, and he couldn't make the catch, and they did not rule it a homer. As it turned out, here's Winger.
Come on, baby.
As it turned out, Signature got another home run, and that's how they won the game, as they walked the dummies off in extra innings. And Winger tries to go deep, and that just didn't have the distance. So we're now going to head to the top of the 6th, 12-9. I was surprised that ball didn't hit the roof. He hit it about as high as you can hit it here and not hit the roof. And it seemed to follow the direct contour of the roof, and it ended up being about a foot short. I think if you're Goodwood, I think they got 2, maybe 3 home runs. I lost track myself. And we head to the top of the 6th here. And here's Jimmy Pareto, who made the spectacular play starting off that last half inning. And Pareto, little soft pop-up. Russell is there. He puts it away for out number 1. And CJ, a little slap, and the left fielder, no problem. Yes, Joe Polito, this is live from the Rosemont Dome. So 2 outs now for Billy Quirk. So again, I think if you're Goodwood, you'd like to get out of this inning, and a little tougher than it should have been, but they get the 3rd out as Spencer Stanek grounds out. So we head to the bottom of the 6th, 12-9. Goodwood's still alive. They've given up 12 runs. They have scored 9. So they are showing a little more offense tonight than they have been. And it'll be Steve Burke, Joey Diaz, and Mikey Subzinski coming up here for Goodwood. 5, 6, 7 in the lineup. And he flips it down the line. Fair ball. And Steve Burke is going to stay here. I thought we were going to see history repeat itself. But discretion, the better part of valor, as they're trying to get a courtesy runner, Brett Winger. Again, they're only down by 3. I believe he called that pitch illegal. Had a little chaos there. The courtesy runner wasn't even at first base there, I don't believe. And there's a hard ground ball. This one gets past the third baseman into the corner. It'll be a stand-up double. And Goodwood, 2nd and 3rd to start this bottom of the 6th inning out for Mikey Subzinski with Lemus on deck.
No, buddy. Hey. Hey, stay there. Liner's through.
Subzinski, hard ground ball, another bobble, safe. Looked like Pareto was going to maybe go home. The runner stopped, and in his haste, he dropped the ball. Bases are loaded for Mikey Lemus. Mikey, not necessarily known as a home run hitter, but a grand slam would give Goodwood their first lead of the game. And that's a high fly ball. Raines is there. He's just going to throw it into third, 12-10.
Come on, Joe. Hey, go have more.
So Lemus, not known as a power hitter, I think he got a little greedy there. He's more of a line drive guy. If you're Goodwood, you would have rather seen him try to go to right field. Here's Joe Cordova. Line drive, double play, ends the inning. Runner way too aggressive there. He was about 20 feet off the bag on a line drive. And tell you, Goodwood now, they had that one runner, Hector Melendez, tried to stretch a single into a double out. And now they got a runner at second out. So two big base running mistakes. And as a hitter there, you either got to push the ball to the right side, try to score a run, or you got to make sure you elevate over the infield. So big double play ball there. And they did not change the score, but it is 12-10. I think Mike Trump is going to go change the scoreboard now. They're working on it over there. So 2-3-4, Billy Quirk, P.J. Raines, Chapo Bolinas, top of the seventh. Little ground ball, Julian Russell, nice scoop there by Jeremy Fowler. And that's a big out because Iron still had some home runs, and this guy has already shown us he can hit them out. So here's P.J. Raines with one out. Goodwood not in a bad situation despite the base running gaffes. And P.J. hits a scalder, but Winger reached up and made the catch. P.J. gave it a ride to the left of the 235 marker. Winger on the back pedal, about a foot in front of the fence, just reached up and made the catch. They just corrected the scoreboard. So my scoreboard was correct, 12-10. So two outs. Here's Chapo Bolinas. I have seen him go yard in the dome now that it's the top of the seventh. If you got any home runs left, you might want to take a shot at it. So this has turned into a interesting ball game. And there's a fly ball, it hits the roof, and now they both look at each other. Russell looked like he was going to go make the catch, and then he stopped as if he thought the left fielder was going to make the catch, and they both looked at each other. So here's Matty Toomey. He's certainly strong enough to go yard. And that could turn out to be a huge play if he does. Chasing 2 a lot easier than chasing 4. And he went for it, and he got it. Way up in there, a little short swing, and the little roof shot pays dividends on the miscommunication. Oh, I'm sorry. I got it backwards. You're right. And here's Trey Johnson. So the roof shot. And they were yelling timeout because the ball came onto the field. I don't know if that's going to count or not. And right after that ball dropped, you could tell Julian and the left fielder and the right side of the Goodwood infield, they were not too happy. And there's so P.J. Raines will come in now. And if you're Goodwood, and that ball's going to be caught, and Lemus, now that ball scrapes the roof. And he threw it all the way in to make sure Raines didn't score. So a couple of roof shots. Iron getting a few breaks this inning. And it brings up Marco Macias. And there's a little ground ball, and Angel can't make the play. I think Julian would have been able to make that play. Angel got out a little bit too far over his skis on that. Another run scores, so Irons played at 3, and here's Alba, and hits a ground ball to Russell, and they get out of it. So the roof shot changed the entire inning. Instead of heading to the bottom of the 7th down 2, Goodwood is looking at 5. So do or die bottom of the 7th. They need 5 to tie. 6 walks them off. Anything less, and Iron will escape with a 15-10 win. And, you know, it's frustrating when you're on defense when a ball hits the roof. But it's the same for both teams, and if you want to play in the winter, it's just something you got to put up with. When we go to intentional sports, they got an odd roof there because it's not smooth. It's got a bunch of girders, and that really creates a lot of havoc. So it's going to be 10-1. It's going to be 10-11-1. And Angel flips it down the line, but Toomey gets there easily for out number 1. And I'm a little surprised. I know Hector would be out of the game, but at this point in the ball game, trailing by 5, worrying about who would pitch the 8th isn't as big a concern. And Hector, soft line drive, and Toomey tried to one-hand it, and Hector slides in safe, running hard. So a one-out base runner brings up the top of the lineup. So Hector did his job. He found his way on. And it brings up Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy 1 for 3 in the ball game today. And there he slaps it off of CJ, who recovers, and they just get him at first. So 2 outs here now. And Julian Russell trying to keep the game alive here for Goodwood. And Julian, that should do it. Raines has got a beat on it. Little belly catch. So Iron cruised out to a 7-0 lead. Goodwood caught him at 7. Iron pushed it to 12-7. Goodwood did get to 12-10, but the 2 roof shots sucked the air out of the game. Good effort, though, by Goodwood. They had been struggling to score runs. So I think if you're Steve Burke, you're probably glad to see the 10th spot. And, of course, there were 2 innings there where roof shots were involved. Not only the 3-run 7th, but also the 5-run inning that Iron recaptured the lead. There was, I believe, a roof shot or 2. So we hope you enjoyed the coverage, folks. We're going to be back out here tomorrow around 9 o'clock, and we'll be out here Wednesday at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned. Keep us in mind.